Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. If I sound at all stressed, as I was just telling my guest, I've lost my wallet. If you've seen it out there, please do return it. I've, lost it over the weekend. You do this, you go out, you go shopping, you go to a show, etc. And somewhere in the midst of all of that, I've lost my wallet. Have you ever done it, Bethany?
I don't think so. I do lose a lot of stuff. Sunglasses are the thing that I get through quite a lot.
Glasses, dreadful.
I would be hopeless. If I had to wear glasses, I would be hopeless.
Absolutely. These things have to try and stay on my head, otherwise I lose them. We won't be talking about lost things, but we will be talking about music, the wonderful music of Bethany, straight after this.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
This is the only music show, Bethany, where we will talk about lost things and real life and stuff like that,
Yeah, great.
I know. Well, because music's about real life, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it that drives you to write?
It's funny, to me, it's so ingrained in me. I couldn't imagine not having music as a big part of my life. It's like the thing that regulates me. It's the thing that keeps me going. It inspires me. And I think I've just, from as long as I can remember, wanted to create things from whatever's around me. So
Is that always been music as well, or has it been other
I think other things as well, but yeah, music is my passion. But yeah, no, you're right, like other creative things. I think I was always into art and craft kind of stuff.
What weren't you good at school?
PE.
That wasn't a thing for you.
I hated it, still hate it.
Right. What is it about PE that you don't like?
Enforced exercise in a group.
Right.
I'm not I don't like doing things as a group where you're made to do it as a group. And I think I was just never very good at doing stuff like that involved coordination.
Yeah.
Catching a ball, throwing a ball. High jump. I was good at high jump because I was tall, but that's it.
And yeah, have you got good coordination when it comes to music?
Yeah, piano and guitar, fine.
That's interesting then, isn't it?
No, maybe my coordination is better than I think. Maybe I just haven't put the time in to improve it like I have with piano and guitar, possibly.
Did teachers just frighten you? Perhaps you had like teachers that frightened you when it came to PE? Sometimes they're a bit
maybe
sort of and I'm not going to say this about all PE teachers. I'm sure there's some that are far more gentle, but there were some that certainly back in my day used to shout at you a bit.
I do remember a couple of PE teachers, and there was the nice PE teacher and there was the not PE teacher.
Get over there!
Who terrified me.
Yeah,
there was one who terrified me.
I think that's what it is. I think
Maybe
when you have
what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it carried on from like as a small child till I left school at 18 or whatever. So I never really liked it, even when I had nice PE teachers. But now I don't. It's like a real challenge for me to go and do like regular exercise. I know some people find it really easy. They'll like go and do something every day. It's like I'll plan to do it. I can't.
Is there a fear of failure tied up in any of that at all?
No, I think it's just how my brain's wired.
It's just how your brain's wired when it comes to exercise. There you go. If exercise was in some way related to music, though, would it be a different thing for you? That's an interesting question. So in
Yeah,
other
and I
words,
do enjoy, like, if I do go for a run, listening to the music is the thing that keeps me going, and
yeah.
I love having a running playlist. And I love
I mean,
dancing.
if you were up on stage, say, right, and you decided to create almost a bit of physical theatre as part of your performance, that would be all right, would it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you see?
I mean, no, it's not. It's not. I'm not averse to all exercise. It's the having to do it regularly with a group of people.
Also, was there and it's interesting where these conversations go. When you were at school and you were trying not to exercise because you didn't like it particular, did you find that you actually managed to have some quite interesting conversations with other people that didn't like it?
No.
Oh.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't the kind of kid who I didn't like getting told off.
Ah,
So no, I wouldn't have done that. I'd have tried really hard to join in. I just wasn't very good. I didn't like it, but I was
maybe
really
that's
tired.
part of it. Maybe that's part of it for you then.
Possibly.
Yeah, you really wanted to please, but
Maybe.
you just felt this wasn't your comfort
Maybe,
zone.
yeah.
How
And
did you discover that you could write music?
Well, I don't remember this, but I remember when I first got a piano, when I think I was about 7 or 8. My mum insists that I wrote this amazing piece of music. It wouldn't have been amazing. Maybe it was just
Can I ask about
piece
that,
of
by the way?
music.
Because I've never really thought about this before. But talking to you just now, I was just thinking, I've had several people on here say when we first got a piano. But do you know what? I don't know many houses that have actually got a piano. So did you actually have a piano?
We had a real
Right.
piano.
That's quite an amazing thing,
Well,
really.
my grandparents had a piano because my granny's mother played the piano. She was a piano teacher. So they had one, and I never met my great grandmother, but they had it in their house. She would have inherited it. So, like, there was a piano in my life from when I was a baby, basically. And then
Were you allowed to touch that?
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah, no, they were very relaxed. Yeah, all for being musical. So I think I remember going to a concert when I first started school, and it was a piano concert and put on especially for kids, and it like blew my mind. And I think after that point, I must have gone on about having a piano or having piano lessons, and eventually my parents must have given in. And yeah, we got a piano. So yeah, a real one.
That's a big thing, because that's like almost like being brought a horse, isn't it? In a way.
Say it's a lot less hard work. I'd never.
You don't have to feed it.
You don't have to do anything. You don't
have to.
I mean, it wouldn't have been an expensive piano. It would have just been a piano that you could play.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a Bon Tempi organ as kids.
What?
Well, it was awful. It was like, well, it was the size of it was a keyboard, and it had a fan in one end, and the fan kind of blew out, and that's how it made the notes.
Oh,
and
wow.
you press buttons, and it kind of like, it was like, it was really, pretty a dismal sound, really. And actually, because when you press the notes, it took a little while for the note to kind of come up, so it wasn't particularly reactive. So
did you enjoy it though?
Oh yeah, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it got me into all sorts of music that I shouldn't have got into, because I suppose it made me more interested in sound than anything, because you couldn't really play a tune properly at the right sort of speed. As soon as you started to try and play something fast,
Okay, yeah.
It just
So-
it wouldn't keep up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what you needed to do was just focus more on sort of sounds.
God, I loved that as a kid. That would have been. I'd have spent hours playing with that. That sounds really
Yeah.
fun.
Are you like that now with sounds and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, sound is my entire career. So when I'm not doing music, I direct audio dramas, and so it's like my ears are my career basically. But yeah, in terms of playing around with stuff, I don't really get time to. I don't have the time or the space to play around with things like I would want to. If I had a bigger house with a bigger studio, sure, I'd probably collect stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not really feasible.
Do those two overlap at all? Audio drama and your music?
Well, I don't do music for audio drama, in that sense, but
No, but when you're listening to audio drama and you're sort of immersed in that, do you sometimes think, oh, one of my songs would fit in there?
No, because I think I'm
That's interesting.
But it's quite a different thing. It's more like you're so absorbed in the in making sure the story comes across, and like making sure that the world that's been crafted by the sound designer, making sure that is believable, that it's more like you have to get just into this world, and if anything jumps out that's not in the world, then that's when
so
you
like lots of special effects and things like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So you've got to spend ages like listening to a door creaking again. It's not quite.
Luckily, not too. So, well, I'm not the sound designer, so luckily I don't have to spend ages choosing a door creak or anything. But if they send me an edit and I think, oh, that door creak doesn't sound like the kind of door they've just mentioned, then I have to say, oh, that's the wrong door creak. But...
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's a completely wrong door. You've got more of a kind of, that's more of a mansion door, and this is a
exactly
end of bed, sort of end of street terrace.
I mean, I probably have Liverpool. Said something like that.
Yeah,
I do quite a few Doctor Who audio dramas.
Oh right.
And they're very specific in their sounds because like each TARDIS has got a different it's got a different set of sounds, and I don't necessarily know what they are. So sometimes I've caught out, and someone else has to come and step in and say that's accidentally the wrong thing. Or
have they got names like TARDIS version 6 or?
I think it's specific to the doctors. I think.
Oh right, so they're kind of labelled per doctor.
So, yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, but I know I've put a comment somewhere saying this spaceship door doesn't sound, or this doesn't sound like the door in a spaceship for something else. This is the wrong spaceship door.
Oh, I love it. So actually, when you're producing your music, which you have to fit in around work and all of this, and and that sounds very intense. Work, right. Is there almost like a sort of a relaxing into sound that comes with your music then?
I'd say if I'm just sitting down at the piano playing, that would be me trying to relax, and that is one of the only things that I find relaxing. But I have to kind of just not do it with a purpose. It's just I'm just going to play, see what happens.
Noodling,
yeah, and just see what happens and just experimenting a bit. If I'm sometimes weirdly, one thing that really helps me if I'm feeling a bit stressed is playing scales on the piano, because I think it's like quite a controlled thing, so you have to like really focus on it.
It's a bit like juggling.
Yes, exactly. And but I say the EP that I've done recently, that was more, I had to treat that more like a work thing because it was basically, I had to kind of like, this is my time for this.
So how did that feel then?
I was glad when I finished it.
Yeah.
It went on quite a long time. I was working on it for a long time.
Well, you're quite pleased, sort of like looking back. It was like that was a process, and it was quite intense. But
I mean, it's like this EP has been something that's evolved over a very long time, and I'm a parent, so I don't get that much time to do stuff. So, like, it's had to be snatches of time, like in the evenings if I had time, or snatches of time between freelance projects. And like if you get freelance work, you take it because a freelancer.
yeah,
And so like suddenly I might think, okay, I've got the next month to work on my EP solidly. Next day, can you write me, because I also write songs, can you write me 20 educational songs for 3 weeks time? You have to drop everything and do that.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a juggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that leads itself to a question, which is, if someone waved a magic wand tomorrow and said, the rest of it, you don't have to do it anymore. There's enough money on the table for you just to write songs for yourself. Would you give up the rest of it, or would? Yeah, yes, you see, because it's not as straightforward as that.
It's not as straightforward as that, because I think it's good to have more than one creative thing you do, because it gives you a break from the other thing.
Yeah.
Also, I mean,
it's almost worth more as well, because you've had to snatch the moments to do it.
Kind of, yeah. I guess it is. I like having limitations when I'm making music, because otherwise it's just too vast. So just if I had all the time in the world, I don't know what I'd do with it. So I'm best when I'm very busy and I've got lots of deadlines. That's when I do my best work, I'd say, for everything.
Do you think you're when you've in latter years, when you look back and you see these moments where you've made music and whatever, do you think there will be a time later on when you'll be able to just relax and go, I made all that?
No, because I think I'll just keep making.
You'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know what else you do. I've talked about this with someone recently about what you do to relax. I like.
You do things to relax.
Things to relax, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm. Do you know what? I'm exactly the same. My other half don't get it. Right? We go on holiday.
Yeah.
And it's like we're going to lie on the beach. It's like,
I'd love that half an hour, and then I'd
exactly. It's like half an hour to, I suppose, 3/4 an hour tops, and then I'm like, I need to build something, or I need to. Should we walk over there? Should we go and have a look over there? Oh, there's something happening over there. That looks interesting.
Yeah.
Let's.
Yeah, I can entertain myself all day on the beach, but yeah.
But not sitting there.
Sitting. I'd have to have a book. I'd have to have a bucket and spade, build a big sandcastle.
Yeah. Or even books. I'll start one and then I just get really bored of it. Like I'll read like 2 or 3 chapters and I'll feel like I've done something.
Yeah.
I feel like I've achieved something because I've done a bit of it. And then I feel like I kind of see where this book's going. I kind of, it has to be, I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but it has to be a really, really good book to really get me gripped.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do. I'm similar. Like I'll start a lot of books, and I've learned in the past couple of years that if I keep having to reread bits because I've missed it or I'm finding it hard to pick up, I just leave it because it's not the right book. But then when I do get a book that I like, I can't put it down. It's kind of the opposite. I don't want to
What
when
sort of books do you like? Are you a person that likes something that doesn't necessarily go where you think it's going to go? It's
yeah, I guess so.
quite a challenging read in a way.
Like my favorite books I've read in the past couple of years, Cloud Cuckoo Land. I can't remember who it's by, Anton Durr or something like that. Brilliant. It's got multiple stories in it, and it's kind of crosses time, and it's just really fantastic.
Yeah. Would you like to do the audio book for that?
No. So I do the audio dramas, which is like full cast with loads of actors. I struggle with audio books. I even struggle to listen to them. I'd rather sit and read it, weirdly. Some audio books I'll listen to, but what was I going to say? Ministry of Time I just finished reading. I couldn't put that down. Quite like ones with a bit of science, a bit of time travel. Quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what audio drama would you love to do? Is there a wish list?
Yeah, I'd really like to do. Well, right now I'm working on one that I can't say anything about because I've signed an NDA, but it's kind of would be on my wish list.
That's
and
cool.
When I heard they were making it, it was on my wish list, and I was like, oh damn. And then now I'm part of the team, which is good. I really like to work on. There's a series called Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, and it's basically about witches, but it's quite clever. It's a trilogy, and the third one's out in about a month. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite series of books, and I would like. If they ever turn that into an audio drama, I'm there. I want to do it.
Let's hope so for you.
Please.
I hope someone hears this and goes, yeah, let's do that. that would be magnificent.
I think it would be quite hard to make into an audio drama, but
yeah,
it's great.
Do you think about what the audience make of your music?
Yes and no. Not when I'm making it, because I just make what I kind of.
But afterwards,
and particularly this recent EP. So my music I've always described as atmospheric alt folk goes pop. That's how I used to describe it. It works. But this recent EP is a bit more. It's less of the folk. I mean, it's still influenced by it, but some of the songs you would just say pop or alt pop, and that's been on my mind, and it's still on my mind. Thinking I'm in a slightly different genre to where I visited before. So yeah, that preys on my mind quite a bit in relation to this recent one.
But people will love it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, of course. Do you like it when people do tell you what they've read into it?
Yeah. And it's nice also when people ask about what the meaning is behind it. Well, yeah. It depends what they say.
Why is that important to you? Why is it important for you that they inquire about the meaning? Is it more important that they inquire about the meaning, or that they interpret it with their own interpretation?
I think it's a bit of both. If I was just thinking in relation to other artists, I like knowing what their thought process was, where it came from, if there was a story behind it.
Yeah. Or that they listened to this and then that kind of brought them to you, right?
Yeah, I enjoy knowing that stuff. So,
are you like that as a listener of music? Do you find new music because you've listened to something else?
Generally, find new music. Nowadays, I'm trying to think. See, prior to streaming being what people did, the way I found new music would sometimes I would go into a record store and just look, and think,
Covers.
oh, that looks interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Sometimes there might be a little recommendation on or a little description. Some record stores do that.
That's quite interesting because that's quite visual.
Yes, it is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now I don't know. I think most of the music I've found is I have found quite a few new things I like through Instagram, actually. Just either that people have shared and say they really like, or probably a few through people who've done sponsored posts and stuff. So I think those do kind of work. Yeah, it's a weird one now. I feel like some of the magic's lost for me.
It sounds like you work on a lot of senses. So you're not just auditory, you're quite visual as well.
Yeah, though in terms of actually just hearing a song, if it grabs me, it's completely a hearing thing. But
does it tend to be not necessarily like because I think we can all tell when like a pop song's going to be a big pop song, if you know what I mean, because it's got that big hook in it. But do you generally gravitate towards something where it has something a bit different to it?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, some of the songs I like, some of my favorite songs of the past couple of years, probably some of the biggest hits. But also equally, I like, there are some that no one will have ever, well, people have obviously heard of them, but they're that are just smaller things. I can't really say what it is. It's just, something that it just gets you inside, or it doesn't.
Yeah. Who's the most obscure artist that you like that most people won't have heard of?
Well, one of my favorite albums is by an artist who lives in Oxford called Digwalia, and it's called In Puget Sounds, I think it's called. It's an album from about 10-12 years ago.
Wow.
I just love it. And
I love that. That's one that we should all hear, just to hear it.
Absolutely love it. I put it in my top 20 albums probably.
Wow. That's high praise, right?
Yes, so yeah.
I like that.
Who else? I don't know. I mean, what am I listening to at the moment? There's another band from Oxford that I actually, no, I think they're London now. Big Fear. They're quite the rise. Really like them. Really like Josie Ann Clark, who loads of people in the folk world would know her because she's been around for a long time. She's doing her own stuff as a solo artist now. So
do you think you could fit into like talking about the new EP coming out, etc.? Do you feel like you could almost fit into a different social scene as well now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
You sound as though there's an trepidation in your voice.
There is, because the folk scenes, like,
you feel safe there.
Yeah, or like an acoustic scene, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels like there's places to play and there's a path and there's a ready audience. I don't know where, for this EP, it feels slightly different.
Yeah. That'd be nice if it opened up something slightly different.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you're up for adventure when it comes to things like that. I think that would be good. Yeah. Have you ever played down this neck of the woods?
I don't know where are you?
I'm in Somerset.
Somerset. I have played a festival or two in Somerset. I'm trying to think if I've played any gigs, possibly.
I mean, there's a fairly big festival about to happen.
Yeah, I haven't played that one. I'd like to play that one. I've always said it's the only time because I've never been to it. It's the only time I will go to it is if I play it, because it's just too big for me. I can't do big festivals.
It's a good way to get in as well, isn't it?
Well, I guess so, yeah.
It's to play it. Yeah. I mean, it's quite hard to get in these days, get a ticket. So getting on the bill, that would be good. Yeah. Do you always hope for things like, that sort of like public recognition of what you're doing? Would you like things like BBC introducing and stuff like that? Would you?
Yeah, I mean, BBC introducing in Oxford have always been really supportive, which is great. So, and I think that I think BBC introducing is one of the best things about the British music industry.
I think it is too.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what independent artists or up and coming artists would do without it, really. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. I think 10 years ago, I would have like really had like specific things I wanted to achieve, and like then been really excited when I got them and super disappointed when I didn't. Now I'm with this EP, and because I haven't done that much stuff in the past few years, for me it's just like a case of being back out there and seeing what happens. And just the fact that I finished it is like quite a big achievement. So I'm just yeah, I'm just seeing what happens, basically. That is it.
Yeah. Are your family super fans?
Yeah, I'd say my daughter knows the words to the songs.
That's good.
Yeah, she does like them.
Harmonies to come.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet. She's only 6.
Yeah. It's got to start them early.
Yeah.
Don't think it'd be happening with my daughter. She's a little bit tone deaf.
Oh dear.
You don't know. It might develop.
How old is she?
Well, she's 11, so you'd
maybe. I don't.
It's getting her voice. To be fair, her voice is getting better.
Yeah, a lot of people say tone deaf isn't actually a thing.
No,
in the way people think.
No.
You can definitely train your ear to be better. Like when I was 11, I don't think I sang
particularly well.
I know I tried out for the school choir when I was in primary school, and I never got in, and I was really upset.
We've all heard that early recording from Ed Sheeran.
Well, I haven't. Okay, is it?
Have you not?
No.
Have you not seen that clip? Oh, you got to
okay.
Google it afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's dreadful. It's dreadful.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but I love the fact that he played that on a TV show.
Did he? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, I think it was Graham Norton or something like that, and he just said, when people say, "Oh, you must have been born talented," he went, "Nope," and then he said, "This is my thing." And he played them that, and it was dreadful.
Yeah,
and I think he's just trying to prove the point that you have to work at stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Tell people about the EP.
Well, it's a 4-track EP. It's out now. It came out a week ago on Friday. It is self-produced and mixed, and that was part of fun. I got funding from Help Musicians to do that. It was really good. So basically, I had about 10 years ago, I'd written an album worth of songs that, for whatever reason, I just never got past demo stage. Partly just I didn't want to, couldn't make the right sounds, whatever, and I kind of just put them to one side. And then during one of the lockdowns, I kind of started messing around with it because my daughter was a baby at that point, and I couldn't make a noise in the evening, so whatever I did had to be on headphones. So I just started playing around with songs I already had, and started making 4 of them into an EP, and then realized that I couldn't get to where I wanted to be with it. I applied for funding to develop my production and mixing skills, because I could already do stuff, but not how I wanted to do it. And and then also to release the EP as well, so, which is really nice because I've been able to get CDs printed, which I would not have done if it had been my own thing. So there's a lovely little CD bundle with like little notebooks, and I'll show you actually. Notebook, and there's a CD.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't it? My husband did that. He's an artist.
Your husband's super talented.
He is, isn't he? So that was ink and watercolor, like it was ink and watercolor splodges of various things, just experimenting, and then a digital collage with it. And then it's got little postcards with it.
Oh.
And little notebook, which I love. And then my favorite bit is the pencil, because the EP is called The Story I Breathe.
Yeah.
So I got The Story I Breathe on the pencil.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, I'm really pleased with the little bundle. So,
and of course, people don't know what pencils are these days, so that's
no,
you
can actually write with it.
I know. It sounds daft. They use them at school, but outside of school, who uses a pencil these days, right?
Well, I don't know. I live in a house with an artist, so I mean, we've got hundreds.
Exactly, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of the people I know, not most, but a lot of people I know are quite creative in some way. So having a notebook with a pen or a pencil is like they have to have it. So
well, it's a bit like this on the board behind me. These are all people that have been on before, and they've sent me various bits, and several people have sent me little notes or little letters. Some people have even like torn out pages of a book and then written on it, which is very creative. But every time I get a letter, I'm like deeply chuffed because it's like, well, because people don't send letters anymore.
No, they don't. Yeah.
It's mad. When we were kids, we wrote postcards, we wrote letters, we did stuff. We would do stuff with pencil. Nowadays, everyone does everything on a computer or a phone. It's like, I've written to them. No, you haven't.
No. I remember having a pen friend as a kid, and it was a proper pen friend. You wrote letters. Didn't hear back for months.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing that you're doing there.
Thanks.
And if people want to get hold of that?
Bandcamp. So
the beautiful Bandcamp.
Yeah,
that's the
lovely
best way.
Bandcamp. Yeah. So Bethany Weimers on Bandcamp. But yeah, my Instagram and everything like that's got links to it all.
Cool. Folks, please do go and take the whole stock.
Yeah, they're limited edition, so
limited edition. Just take the whole lot. Clear Bethany out. She'll have to get more in order to,
Then they won't be limited edition anymore. So that's it. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Well, you'd just have to do a different version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a slightly different coloured version of it or something.
Yeah. I think T-shirts are the next thing. I've been chatting to a couple of people who really want a T-shirt, so
you got to do T-shirts.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be made into sort of like earrings or a yeah.
That's quite a good idea.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Good idea.
Yeah. Anybody like earrings that look like that butterfly? I think you would. Of course you would. Just in time for Christmas. We'll make sure that we get some made. There we go. Bethany, it's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show.
No, absolute pleasure. Folks, do go and check out Bethany's music. You've heard the stories. Now go and check the music out. That's what this is for. We will be back soon with more stories from my music. But until then, from Bethany and me, bye for now.